we're here for the RAC Future Car Challenge. We are driving from Brighton up to London, and the idea is that we use the least amount of fuel or energy possible to do that journey.
I'm driving the Nissan Leaf, fully electric car, so to try and use as little energy as possible.
I am driving a Vauxhall Ampera.
I'm driving the Toyota Prius Plug-in.
Really looking forward to the day's challenge, where we need to be as careful as possible, getting as much energy out of the car on our way back up to London.
You can do donuts in yours though.
I probably
Maybe,
could.
we'll find out when we get to Regent Street.
I reckon I could do a dough. I don't know about a whole nut.
3, 2, 1, go! Go! 3, 2, 1, go!
Very gentle. That's
Yes,
a great.
indeed,
It's the most undramatic start possible. And go.
If you're doing long distance driving, do you take a petrol driven car or a hybrid over a EV?
I mean, it's such a difficult thing to answer. Yes, effectively at the moment I would do. So I mean, the two cars I drive all the time are a Nissan Leaf pure electric and a plug-in hybrid Prius. So if I was going to drive to Scotland, I couldn't help putting some small inverted commas around that, then I would, today I would go in the Prius. But it's very dependent on the charging infrastructure. So there are some long journeys that I can now do without any worries in an electric car, because there are fast chargers on. When there are fast chargers on motorways, if every motorway services has a fast charger, then it just makes it very straightforward. I mean, you do stop more often, and you stop for slightly longer, but we're talking 15 minutes and that kind of time. And on one occasion so far, I pulled up to the fast charger, and very often there's a petrol car parked in the special electric car only thing. Usually a black BMW. Don't know why.
Get out.
Not the same one.
Right. It's not stalking.
But luckily the people who designed the charger are sensible enough to give it a long enough wire so that I can park near it, and then I just somehow have to drape the wire over the bonnet.
Top.
Yeah. Very gently. I do it very politely. But then the other day I got to a charging point, and there was another Nissan Leaf parked there. So I had a long chat with the man that was driving it with it, and his was nearly full, so I plugged mine in. So there are, in the future, there's going to be issues.
Yes.
When there's 40 electric cars queuing, because it does take longer. So it is that infrastructure is a vital thing. But I mean, there are also technologies that are appearing, like induction charging.
Yes.
And that, that would then be, if every car parking space has an induction plate, it's just where you park the car and it's charging. Yeah. And they can be fast charged as well. They can be on that scale, so they can charge the car very quickly.
So do you see many Leafs whilst you're out and about?
No, I mean, not many. I live in the middle of nowhere, so I see lots of Range Rovers, and I see a lot of women in 3-ton cars going to buy a litre of milk. And obviously I comment. But no, there's 2 other Leaf drivers within 20 miles of me, who I've sort of come across. And
do you wave at them?
Yeah, we do. There is a bit of a Leaf brotherhood and sisterhood.
So would you say they're practical for everyday life for the majority of people? I mean, it depends what
the
commute is,
but I mean, the only way you can judge that is just on statistics. So statistically, absolutely, they're suitable for about 90% of the population, for about 90% of car journeys going on government statistics.
For our readers, at least, the aesthetics of the car are almost as important as the technology behind it.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's... I mean, electric cars have not been pretty so far. I mean, actually, the one we're in is quite attractive.
Yeah.
But would you say that that's held the electric car adoption back because they've been often bulbous things?
I don't think so. I think it's the initial purchase cost has been the biggest barrier. I mean, I think you're right that there is a section of the kind of car buying public that are very governed by effectively what the car says about them, in the same way. So they see a car in the same way as people see clothing.
Status symbol.
There's a status symbol, or I'm stylish, or I'm hip, or whatever it is. And I guess I haven't, being deeply unfashionable, I've never fully understood that, because when I get out of a car, if people look at me and think, oh, he's a da-da-da because he drives a da-da-da, I don't really want to be friends with them.
No. Fair enough.
If they're judging me on those criteria, then that's fine. You know, it doesn't worry me. They can think what they like if they think. Because I think that comes more when you test drive cars. So I've got out of the most ridiculous array of cars, from Sublime to Gore Blimey. So I think it was not mine.
No, fair enough.
It's not my car. I didn't choose it. It doesn't say anything about me at all. I'm driving it, you know. Which, for all you know, could be that you see someone get out of a Maserati.
Yes.
You think, oh, he is like just totally cool and sexy. Actually, he's driving it to the works, and it's not his. He's got a Ford Ka.
Driving an electric car day to day, do you ever have issues with pedestrians not hearing you? Because I mean, without any engine noise.
Quite simply, no. I mean, it is my responsibility as a driver not to run people over. And it's an interesting take on the whole thing. But it is what I've noticed now, I've been involved in it long enough, is that the fears come in waves. So there was a time, it was probably about a year ago, when everyone was going, yeah, but you could just run my granny over, she won't see you coming. Yeah. If I run your granny over because she hasn't seen me coming, it's my fault, yes, exactly. And I've killed your granny. Yeah. That's terrible. You know, it's my duty, and also I think it actually is it's a kind of double curse on petrol cars, because modern petrol cars are brilliantly quiet.
Yeah.
And they are very quiet, and which is fantastic that the engineering's been done to such an extent to deaden all that noise. So I think it's an utter myth, you know. And you've got to be careful. And I drive through a few Cotswold market towns where there's lots of tourists in the summer that just walk straight out in the road. The nearest I've ever come to knocking anybody, I was in a Land Rover that is knackered, old, and very rattly. Yeah, and someone walked right out in front of it because they weren't looking. You know, and there's general background noise in a city or in a town, and you don't notice individual cars. It's nonsense.
If you had your choice of all electric cars, regardless of what it was, which one would you pick?
Oh, I mean, if I would, well, I have. So yes, the Leaf. But I mean, I have to say that if I was very wealthy, and it was 2014, I'd want to buy the full top of the range Tesla Model S.
Oh yes.
I'm afraid, because I've sat in one and I've seen one, but I've not been along in one because I saw an early prototype. They wouldn't let us take it out. But I mean, it's just even if it was a petrol car, it's a very nice car.
Oh, yeah.
You know, anyway, and then the fact that it's an electric vehicle with a 300-mile range. Someone's just done 362 miles in California on one charge. But, then it's in a completely different league, and I mean and it's very, very fast as well.
Yeah, I saw a video of it beating an M5.
M5, yeah.
Yes, it's like, wow. Okay,
yeah, no, they can go quick. Yeah, because I've driven the Tesla Roadster a lot, and that
must have been good.
Fabulous. Yeah, no, that was an extraordinary vehicle. Yeah. No, they do. No, it's always good to check. Oh! I think you can probably be gentler. There's a great bit of footage, which unfortunately is in Dutch, of a mad Dutch Nissan Leaf driver who does all the things that Nissan tell you not to do. So he's been towed, he's run out on a motorway in Holland deliberately. Yeah. And his mate in a massive Toyota pickup truck was in front of him. They towed it at 70 miles an hour in gear charging.
I'm charging it up.
And it's annoying, so he's like here, in Dutch, can't understand a bloody word, and laughing and pointing at the thing, and you can see it going. I suppose 10 years ago, if you ever mentioned Microsoft, you'd have a lot of people doing evil empire, crushing freedom, capitalist thugs and all that stuff. Now Microsoft are sort of cool, edgy. Yeah. Sort of, Apple are now the evil ones.
I know.
And then Google was stood for open and free internet.
Don't do evil.
Yeah. And all that stuff. And now if I say, I've just seen this on Google, if I put a link on Twitter or something I've seen on Google Plus, I'll get 50 comments going, can't use Google Plus, privacy policy, evil, use Linux.
Don't go on the internet, people are tracking.
Yeah. So then if I ask a question on Twitter, I go, look, I can't do this on Final Cut Pro, brackets, I don't use Linux. But there's nothing wrong with it. Have you seen the interior of the Tesla?
No.
There's a button it's like a sort of Apple car. It's all on the touch screen is like that big. It's bigger than an iPad, it's an enormous, and that has everything is on that except the kind of start button. There's not, I guess the steering wheel, the lights and stuff is.
I and you've got 99% on drive.
That is amazing.
Quick, somebody snap a picture.
Yes, no, we should have a driving style picture.
It's putting you to shame, Robert.
Well, I don't know, because I never saw that when I was driving. I was
100%!
Oh.
Quick, snap a picture before I have to.
I think I was doing more like 500%. You're still at 100% driving style. That doesn't tell me a great deal. You know, driving style.
He's just got a nice style.
Yeah, he's got a nice
He can
style.
steer.
We like him.
It just look good, doing it. So do you reckon, I mean, common kind of conception is that you shouldn't buy a new car unless you've got a lot of money to burn.
Yeah, because the value of it plummets off the...
Do you reckon it's not the same for electric cars?
I don't know. I mean, it is those sides of it are just beyond my.
Yeah, we're still trying to work out really on the residual value and those sorts of things.
Yeah, because nobody really knows, do they? I mean, you know, there's plenty of people pontificate about, oh, you've got to replace the battery after, you know. I mean, the vehicles I've driven have done 120,000 miles, and there was a report out recently of, it was actually only 2. There was a report out maybe a year and a half ago about Prius taxis.
Yeah.
And there were 600 Prius taxis from around the world that had all done over 250,000 miles, and they tested their batteries, an independent research group, and they were all absolutely fine. I mean, there was nothing wrong with the batteries at all. And they've just done 2, a New York taxi and a taxi in Seoul in South Korea. They've done 500,000 miles on the original battery. They've done 500,000 miles of taxiing. And their battery, they think the battery is about 76% of its original capacity.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good.
But I mean, they're all bullshit. I have towed more Range Rovers and, you know, Discoveries and things when my daughter was in the pony club.
Oh yeah.
Because I have a knackered old Land Rover with obscene wankers, chunky tyres.
Yes.
But they grip, you know, because that car was used on scrap heap for years and it never got stuck. And you've got road tyres on I'm talking flat, wet grass, damp grass in the summer. Yeah. And there's something like that is going. It just isn't, and with a horse box behind it.
Well, it's when you get low profile tyres on.
Yeah, so that's what they have. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
We made it. The Kangaroo's there.
Yes.
Right. Do we switch the engine off immediately?
Yeah. God, yeah.
Right, do the windows up.
I think we're going to do. Yeah, we're doing pictures or something. I look to think.
You made it.
We did make it, and extremely well driven by my co-driver, who did a very good job. And he got 100% driver. What was it? Driver style.
Driver style.
Style. So he's very stylish. So he got 100% driving style.
Yeah, look at that.
74% on climate change. We don't quite know what we've done, but we've done very well.
What's it say, 74? That's good.
Yeah.
74 climate, 100.
100%. So his driving style is 100% brilliant.
Fantastic.